In Leviticus chapter 5, the text continues to outline the specifics of the sin and guilt offerings, emphasizing the importance of confession, restitution, and atonement for unintentional sins or breaches of faith. This chapter is particularly concerned with the nuances of individual responsibility and the necessity of making amends. The chapter opens with various scenarios in which a person becomes guilty in God's eyes. Whether it's failing to speak up when witnessing a wrongdoing, touching something unclean, or making thoughtless oaths, the individual bears culpability and must atone for their sin. The common thread through these examples is the acknowledgement of sin, both against God and against one's neighbor, and the subsequent need for confession. When one realizes their guilt in any of these matters, they must confess the sin they have committed. For atonement, they are to bring a guilt offering to the Lord, a female lamb or goat from the flock. If they cannot afford these animals, 2 doves or 2 pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, may be substituted. For those too poor even for this, fine flour can be offered instead, demonstrating God's consideration for the economic status of the sinner. The priest then makes atonement for the sinner with the appropriate offering, and forgiveness is granted. It's a process that highlights the interplay between divine grace and human action. Confession is met with atonement, and sin is met with forgiveness. In cases where sin involves wronging another person, restitution must be made in full, adding 1/5 of the value to it. The restitution and additional penalty further indicate the seriousness of sin, not just as a religious infraction but as a disruption of community harmony. Conclusion for Leviticus chapter 5. Chapter 5 of Leviticus thus serves as a guide for maintaining both religious and social integrity. It insists on the acknowledgement of personal sins and errors, even those committed unknowingly. Through the guilt offering, the chapter paints a picture of a God who is just and requires restitution, yet is also merciful, offering forgiveness and reconciliation. The procedures detailed here reinforce the value of a clear conscience, honest dealings with one another, and an upright relationship with God. It is an enduring reminder of the intricate relationship between divine law, personal integrity, and communal peace.